Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTRL. It is the final week of our GT Sport Championships, and today we're bringing you the GT2 action, later from Suzuka for the Group 3 race, but as ever we start with the Group 4 race this week from Brands Hatch Circuit in Kent. Joining me on commentary for the third is Mr. FTRL Rom Elson. Good evening, Rom.
Evening, mate.
How are we?
I'm fine. Excited to see the ending races of the season.
Yes, well, GT2 has provided us with some fantastic racing this season, so hopefully they will continue to deliver that for the final two races. 3 of the 4 titles are still up for grabs tonight, so only the team's title has been decided. That has gone the way of McLaren, so big shout out to the McLaren trio of City Posh Blue, Deluxe and Unsafe Release. They wrapped up the team's title for McLaren, but the 3 drivers' titles, the Group 4, the Group 3 and the overall combined, still very much up for grabs, so we will go through that in a second. 2 drivers in contention for the Group 4 title. That is the man on screen currently, Mr. FTRL Switchback, and also FTRL Donzo in the Alfa Romeo. So the permutations are as this. Currently Zach has a 13-point lead over Donzo. And with 12 points for the win and 2 points for pole position to take, if Zach takes pole position, he is the champion. If he scores more than 2 points in the race, he is the Group 4 champion for this season. For Donzo to take the championship, firstly he has to secure pole position. If he does not secure pole position, Zach wins the title. And if he does take pole position, he needs to win the race, and Zach has to finish a minimum of 12th. However, it does look like we've only got 11 people, so in fact I think that means the title is wrapped up, barring a disconnection for Zach. So as long as Zach's internet holds up, I think he's now champion.
Yeah, a lot of pressure tonight on Donzo's shoulders. I'm curious to see how he will cope with that.
So he's driven well this season. I think that Alfa Romeo was a bit of tricky, hard to get to grips with, but he showed good early pace, and has been consistent in both categories. I know SPY's been up there as well. He's got a couple of wins to his name. Donzo just the one. But yeah, I think Donzo's definitely shown that he can fight for GT titles. So we're going to see how he gets on tonight. Zuka Switchback in title contention, but really does not like this circuit. So of all the circuits he wanted to be fighting for a championship one, I think he's probably quite relieved. He's got quite a big advantage over Donzo, because if it came out to a straight fight, I don't think he fancies his chances. He's gone wide at Sheen, just about gets it, but hooked up again. Looking a little bit ragged.
Well, Donzo has the pace, that's for sure. But
he does indeed. Of course, the Alfa Romeo, however, maybe doesn't. But Brands Hatch offers a little bit for both teams. The Citroen, of course, very good off the line and in quite quick in a straight line, while the Alfa Romeo, of course, very quick through the corners. So it offers a little something for both people. Junkie Sport pops himself onto pole position. Katz goes third. Next to the line is Steph. He goes second. City Posh next across the line for the McLarens. He goes third. Unsafe goes 5th. Deluxe goes 7th. SPY coming to the line now, so first lap time's in. SPY goes fastest.
Donzo
third at the moment, and so a bit of time to find for Donzo. He's got a bit of a gap there as well. He's 0.8 of a second to find to his teammate, so as it stands, Zach on course to win the championship. Of course, plenty of time to go, plenty more laps to be put in. So what do you think of Brands Hatch as a circuit? Do you like Brands?
well, I like it, but it's a very unforgivable track. Like, once you clip the grass, it will practically result in a crash. So it's a very tricky one to ride, but it's so fun because it has, in my opinion, quite a set of corners that you don't see very often in other circuits.
Yeah, it's
so,
very old school circuit in there. It kind of, you could tell it's obviously lacks the modern ones. It's sort of flowing. There's not really. Someone's having a big slide there coming out of Westfield. Yeah, gathered it up, so that's probably ruined this lap. But yeah, it's definitely an old school circuit, this one. Built into the sort of natural undulations of the land it was built on. Obviously Paddock Hill Bend, a very world-renowned corner, that huge drop. If anybody's been there in real life, it is a quite impressive drop from the top of it down into the bottom and then back up the hill on the far side for Druids. So Donzo pits, I think that gets a rear end from Cats as he enters the pit lane, just to hurry him up. As SBY goes even faster there, so 10th off his time. 1:29.2 is currently the pace. SBY setting an electrifying pace. Junkie Sports still second there, 3/10 adrift at the moment. Donzo next up on a 30.2, so he's got nearly a second to find to snatch pole position and to keep this championship hope alive. I think he'll be hoping his teammate to slow down a little bit, to be honest, but that's what it is. Halfway through the session then. Prototype Steph coming up in P4. It's a good effort from the Mitsubishi man, ahead of all the McLarens. Of course, Steph winner at the wet race in Austria.
Yeah, well, I think this track suits Mitsubishi pretty well because that acceleration on that car is massive. And just a bit of short straights where you really can rely on acceleration. So I think he has a good chance to end in the top 3.
Definitely seeing a couple of slow corners here with that four-wheel drive traction will definitely help him, especially out of Druids turn 2. That sort of slow hairpin and getting back on the power there as SBY goes even faster. 20 into the 28, so 28.9. That's a very quick lap indeed. So far, Junkie Sports not been able to respond. I think he'll probably be in for new tyres this time. Donzo just starting new lap. We'll go on board with Donzo for a lap then. So here we go, then into Paddock Hill Bend. Clips the apex nicely. Down the hill. Using all the road. And up to Druids. Pick your braking point. And tucking to the apex. Just clips the curve nicely. Go next and down into Graham Hill Bend. He's a 10th up in the first sector on his own time. He's out all the road down the curve on the exits. And down the short straight into McLean's. Wide entry, coming for the apex. Still marginally up, he's lost a little bit of time in that sector there. Now onto the straight, onto the fastest point of the track. He drops down the hill, under the bridge, into Hawthorne Corner. Seen for British Touring Car fans where Dan Camish spectacularly crashed out, so he's a little bit wide, he's on the grass. It's going to cost him. I think will be this lap time ruined. Bit of a slide through Westfield again as Junkie Sport pits, so from Donzo and Switchback goes P3. So Switchback puts himself ahead of his title rival for this Group 4 race. There's a slide from Donzo as he comes through Stirling's. Down the straight then in City Posh Blue pops himself up into P2. Donzo's going to carry his tyres, still look okay. I think he just had a bit of a moment on that lap, but his tyres still looking okay. So he'll go again. Of course, the overall title, obviously we'll touch on the GR3 title a little bit later on in the race, but the overall title as well still to be decided. That's a two-way fight between Switchback and also the man who's just popped himself up into P2, City Posh. 14 points separating them, so City Posh not in contention for the Group 4 title anymore, leading the Group 3 and the overall standings, so he can clinch the title overall in this race if he outscores Zach by, I believe he needs to do it by about 4 points. A 14-point lead. I think it's 18 points for the win, so 5 points will guarantee it. Of course, as long as he finishes both races, he will score the second race. So Donzo on another lap, he's 2/10 up this time. Keeps on the island through Hawthorne this time. I think he left a little bit in that there, didn't run out right to the edge. To Westfield, has a little bit of a wobble, but out onto the curb. Oh, a little bit wide through the first part of Sheen. Didn't get on the curb, he's still up, but only just. Ron, can you turn your microphone up a little bit, please? Apparently you're quite quiet.
Sure I can.
Rounds the final corner. Doesn't improve, he's had a very sloppy final sector. So currently SBY continues to hold pole position. Final 2 minutes. See Posh just been in for fresh set size. He is now P2. The look in tow. Junkie Sport holding on to third with Switchback in fourth. Donzo still fifth. Prolap step down to sixth. So Felice in P7. Head next is Cats in the VW. Deluxe P9. JP Greenwood P10. Right on the back of Deluxe. And Zom just in behind them. So closely bunched together there. Not a lot between a lot of the gaps. I think the biggest gap actually is between the first and second place. It's almost 7/10 of a second between SBY and City Posh, and that is the biggest gap between cars in terms of the whole field. So that emphasises how good SBY has been around here, even if it is possibly going to cost his teammate any chance of the Group 4 title.
It's on Aaron if my audio is better now.
That's something louder on mine, so should be good. We've got a Mr. Goy Carp in the chat. He wants to know who's looking good to bring home the huge W this evening. Who do you fancy for a win?
Well, looking at the pace that SBY has, I think he's going to bring this home.
I think he's definitely with a shout. I think the key thing for SBY is going to be can he lead into turn 1? It is a short sprint up to the first corner, and I think if he can get into the first corner still in the lead, I think he's in with a very good chance. Donzo has gone purple in sector 1. Now on his flying lap, we're into the final 10 seconds, so yes, we'll keep an eye on him. But yeah, SBY, if SBY gets into the first corner first, then I would fancy him to win this one. If, however, his teammate, who is on the currently purple in sector 2 as well, so Donzo is looking good. Still up in sector 3 as he comes through Hawthorns. A little bit of a slide there. That would have cost him a couple of tenths. Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard to look past him, but then you've got to counter if the Citroens can stay close. Obviously with their superior fuel usage, you can't count them out. We saw at Donzo's lost time in that little sector. He's up on his personal best, but he is not anywhere near purple anymore. He comes into the final corner. He needs a Herculean effort from here. We're about to crown our first individual drivers champion. We are indeed. Donzo improves but only stays 5th, and with that FTRL Switchback is confirmed as your Group 4 champion for this season. So congratulations to Zach. Championship won before the race has even started. A bit of movement there in the unsafe Felice has popped himself up to P5. Next is Cats has gone P6 and Deluxe P7. So Donzo, after all that, has been shuffled down to P8. Yeah, so there we have it then.
I think he lost quite a bit of time at Westview then.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a slide, I think. That cost him, because he was purple all the way up to that point. So SBY on pole position, City Posh second. You've got the Citroens, the Junkie Sport and Switchback on the second row. Watch for them getting off the line. That Citroen is a rapid starting car, so will Junkie Sport or Switchback be leading into turn 1? Revs go up, lights are on. Round 15 is away. It's good stuff from Junkie Sport. SBY's got a decent launch. I think he'll hold the lead. Junkie Sport's on the grass on the inside. Can't find a way through. SBY holds the lead into 1. City Posh is back up the inside of Junkie Sport on the run up to Druids. Junkie Sport forced out wide. It's now side by side with his teammates. Zach is ahead, but Junkie Sport has the inside. Still side by side, unsafe Felice behind them. Donzo's had a good start, he's up to 6th. Citroens sort themselves out. Here comes unsafe Felice up the inside of Zach. Into 4, he's up to P4. Oh, Junkie Sport's wide now. Unsafe Felice is going for 3rd.
Something must have happened between the Zom and the Luck, because they already have the 3-second gaps to the rest of the pack.
Indeed, so goings on now off camera, but SBY got the whole shot and he leads City Posh. 4 off the advances of the Citroens. He is up into P2 again, also Felice and Switchback. Now squabbling over P3. Junkie Sports down to P4. Zach's wide. He's on the grass, but he's just gathered it up. Let's put Junkie Sport and Steph and Katz right on the back of them. Donzo just behind as well. JP Greenwood there behind them. And Zom and Deluxe playing catch up. They're back onto the. Get Zom in his beautiful Rebellion livery, inspired by the prototype car. Fly around them, but SBY is your race leader. Oh, switchbacks at the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend. Junkie Sports down the inside. Steph trying to get involved as well. He does not like the circuit. Steph around the outside into Graham Hill Bend. That's putting him on the curb. He's got a decent run though.
Paul was telling in the chat that Luck jumped to start and Zom hit him in the back. So that's
what I do.
Why they're lacking behind.
So Deluxe getting a little bit too eager to get off the line. Switchback defending from Steph as they come down to Hawthorne. Steph on the outside. Going to go around the long way, squeezing Zach. Oh, he's out on the grass. Is that going to let Katz through? It is. Steph with a flash of the lights. I think he's happy. Oh, Donzo has a huge slide coming through Westfield. Alfa Romeo does not seem to enjoy that corner. Somebody's taken him on the board markers. Meanwhile, his teammate SBY continues to lead. Chased by a pair of McLaren. City Posh just under a second behind him. And I'd say Felice trying to bridge that gap as well. He's just outside of slipstream range at the moment. But he's now dropped Junkie Sports. Starts to spread out Donzo and Steph side by side up the start-finish straight. Donzo has the inside. To take away P7. He goes side by side down Paddock. Still side by side as they head up the hill to Druids. Donzo backs out of it. Steph gives him room on the inside and retains the position. That's let JP Greenwood get onto the tail of them as well. So great driving there from those two. Katz is now right onto the tail of Switch. Oh, Donzo's off at McLean's. And he's dropped all the way down to P10. Zom's coming through as well. Big slide, drifted wide, and that's dropped him right down the order. So I'm up the inside into Hawthorns, doesn't quite get the move done. Squadron SBY now just starting to eke away. He's got out of, or it was just momentarily out of slipstream range. Giving chase, unsafe, trying to get there as well, just closing down on his teammates, bringing Junkie Sport with him. Switchback and Katz still doing battle. Yeah, Katz is right on the tail of Switchback with dust being kicked up there from somebody in the foreground. So who that was. And onto lap 4 we go. SBY is your race leader, 1.7 seconds now the lead. So he is out of slipstream range, which will help. Not quite able to live with him. Saw from qualifying SBY with electric pace around here in that Alpha. Very much hooked up. So Felice has got Junkie Sport keeping him honest, just half a second back. Switch back. So got Katz in close attendance still. Now VW. Oh, was that going wide? Deluxe going wide, I think there. Maybe Greenwood's to do on Donzo. Donzo anyway, wasn't he? Sorry, but Donzo now side by side. VW, however, in a straight line is very quick, and he pulls ahead.
Donzo is not having the best of his time.
No, I think with that Alpha, the big problem I think all the guys who race the Alpha have said is that it just struggles to overtake because it's so... Oh, JP Green was wide.
It lacks pass.
Lacks straight line speed, which means it's very difficult to overtake unless you're close in the corners. Obviously, if the car in front stays on the racing line, it's very difficult for Alfa Romeo to find a way through. So they really need clear track. It's pushing hard. Go-Kart wants to know who has been the standout driver for GT2 this season. Well, I think it's very difficult to look past City Posh Blue. Personally, including P2, it's his first full season. Obviously, he joined partway through last season. Got a podium in his first week. Obviously, had an absolutely shocking first week. He finished 13th in both races. He left the first round of the championship with no points to his name. And then of the corresponding 6 races in Group 3, he has won 5 of them. Only Junkie Sport has won a Group 3 race this season, other than City Posh. City Posh has won 5, Junkie Sport has won 2. So that transformation from that first week into the fact that he is on the verge of clinching this championship, just absolutely outstanding effort from him. And just shows what a great driver he is when he puts the time and effort into it. You can see the mileage on his car is 2,500 miles he's got on this Group 4 McLaren. So standout effort. He's clearly put the time and effort into learning this car, and that has reaped dividends. Still going well here. P2 currently.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see how quick he adjusted to the game.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, he's a long time F1 driver. Made the move over last season, and has come on leaps and bounds. So the battle for the leaders just closed up a little bit. I think he's had a moment somewhere, lost a little bit of time. He's just eked it out again on that lap. He did a 32 flat on lap 4. Lost a second to City Posh. And City Posh has got his teammate, Junkie Sport, right on his rear wing. In the background, Cats and Switchback are side by side. Somewhere Switchback's picked up a half-second penalty. He's looking a little bit ragged. Cats trying to get down the inside. Make our way through though. Cats is keeping it very honest. Goes to the outside there, trying to get the run up the hill. That VW very quick in a straight line. Going left, going right, looking for a way. He's got down the inside now on the run down to Hawthorns. And Switchback tries to swoop around the outside. It can be done. They're still side by side. Now Cats down the inside again. Still side by side.
Jesus.
Half a lap side by side coming up to Sheen now. Oh, Switchback on the grass. Oh, he's out of the grass again.
He kept it.
Huge slide. Oh, he's on the grass on the outside now as well. And eventually Cats gets that overtake. Done great racing from those two side by side for half a lap there.
Yeah,
and
well,
eventually
especially
gets
on
it
those
done.
corners.
Yeah, very great driving from those two.
Go side by side.
McLaren pair pit. Going to go into the soft type. They've gone early. City Posh on side pit early, which suggests they're going to get off the super soft and we'll come back out on super soft. They're on their way to stop strategy. So City Posh back out in 6th, Unsafe back out in 7th. Zom is now P8. JP Green were behind in P9. Donzo's in the pits as well. Deluc is P10. So Donzo just out of the pits. So 3 guys in that lap. And all that has led FPY with a 4-second lead over Junkie Sport. And after that squabbling, Steph is now right onto the back of Switchback. Flashing the lights as they come down the straight. Trying to distract Zach. I know Zach doesn't like the circuit, so it probably won't take a lot to distract him around here. Oh, he's wide. It's worked. Zach is out on the dust again. Still on the grass. Just about gathers it up. Oh, he's up at Westfield as well. Zach is having an absolute nightmare. He really does not like this circuit. And it's probably very good that you've got the tyre wrapped up, because it's going to be going very wrong. Steph now up into P4. And City Posh after his pit stop closing in.
Yeah. Quite a bit surprised that was up through already. Alpha is pretty good on his tyres, and his tyres weren't that bad.
So he's probably got a strategy in mind. So into the pits comes next as Cats and Switchback. Nexus Cats actually has more fuel in the switchback. It's interesting. What's the Citroen
pushing on Greenwoods.
Indeed, we're on the back of him up the start-finish straight. He's got the inside into Paddock Hill Bend. Backs out of it though. JP Greenwood holds on. Oh, he's got to run up the inside though, up towards Druids. He's going to have another bite at this. He's down the inside, through he goes. He's got a little bit deep. JP Greenwood tries to switch back, not quite able to do so. And he takes the position, so to look up into P9. Not behind Nexus Cats, we've seen those two battling quite a lot this season. The Dane train. 8th and 9th. Oh, we've got to get a flag. Who's gone?
Zom.
Oh, Zom's gone.
After that 30s.
For some reason it's not letting me show him or JP Greenwood for some reason.
You need it.
There we go, we've got him again.
Yeah,
he's gone off unfortunately, so Zom's had a bit of a moment.
Oh. I can see him back.
Yeah, there we go, I can see him again now. Right, race leader pits. So in comes SBY from the lead. He had a 6-second lead as he pits. Junkie Sport, second, is in as well. See Bosch coming round. He's ahead of Steph, who pits. SBY on his way. He retains the lead. See Bosch coming through, as does Unsafe Release. There's Junkie Sport coming out of the pits. He's going to be side by side with Unsafe Release. He's in front. Unsafe on, warm tyres out. Junkie Sport but has got the position. So the overcut has worked out nicely for Junkie Sport there.
SBY didn't fuel his car, so he was at 50%, but a bit more of half the race to go, so he'll have to fuel save a bit.
He's got a 4-second lead though, so he should be okay. Well, same with Junkie Sport actually. Junkie Sport's on just half a tank, so him and SB are on about the same fuel-wise. You can see that Unsafe has put a little bit in, so McLaren not quite as good on the fuel, and that has enabled Junkie Sport to leapfrog his rival. Switchback has jumped back ahead of Steph and Katz. So Katz, having passed Switchback, is now down to P7. He's got quite a bit more fuel in than Steph. Pretty much half a tank. Switchback just under. So yeah, once again Citroen. Oh, he's wide though, coming through Sterling's again. Switchback just looking ragged around here. Unsafe right on the tail of Junkie Sport as they come around Clark Curve. Down to the finish straight there. Junkie Sport stretching his legs. JP Greenwood's had an off somewhere by the look of it. He's down to P11. Unless he maybe pitted actually.
Unsafe tries it on the outside, but Junkie Sport keeps his position.
For now.
Don't want to go on the outside of the routes.
So not impossible. You see Junkie Sport having to go defensive as they go up to Surtees. Around the outside again, Unsafe Release. And this time he's got right alongside. Now it's a drag race. And that Citroen is quick. He's just managed to get in front again, so great redriving from these two. Unsafe tucks right into the slipstream. He looks up the inside of the Hawthorns, not quite close enough. Showing the nose. Trying to distract Junkie Sport. Meanwhile, Switchback, despite all his off-track endeavours, is not too far behind these two. He's bringing Steph with him. Is closing in on Katz, having passed JP a little while ago, who's got ahead of Zom, so to switch positions again.
Yeah, Switchback is closing in fast now. So we might see a four-way battle for the last podium position.
They do indeed. Sport continues to hold it. Obviously with all this defending he is slowing up, and that is allowing Zach to bridge that gap, and Steph isn't far behind either.
I'm not sure if Unsafe Release is going to go to the end, because that's gonna be a tough ride if
He's on the super soft tyres, isn't he?
keep his tyres live for another 7 laps.
You'd think he would probably just take tyres. So it's a question of really, I think that's why he's probably so keen to get past that he's going to have to stop again. Posh has got 4 seconds, so he'll probably drop behind these guys, but he'll be right on their tail. It's a question of when they pull the trigger, really. Oh, Zach's had another moment there in the background. But yeah, he's right there now. So Zach has now made this a three-way battle, and Steph still closing. SBY, meanwhile, comfortably in the lead, 4.4 seconds. City Posh, similar gap back to this battle between Junkie Sport on safe release and Zach. And now Junkie Sport has got a little bit of a gap over unsafe. He was pitting, so unsafe is in. So just be tyres. Tyres on, away he goes. Yep, just tyres. Going to come out in P6. Just ahead of Katz and DeLuc, who are now together. So, quite importantly for him, he's cleared those two. Not the gap. He's now got 4 seconds to Steph. Switch back to Junkie Sport. So, can he bridge that gap? Now, City Posh is also going to be in shortly, you would think. You want to give yourself as much time as you can do on fresh tyres to catch back up and overtake again, because I think he will drop behind Junkie Sport. Switch back and Steph. He might come out right with them. It's going to be very close between... No, he's got 4.3 seconds. So Steph now right on the tail of Switchback. And also Felice is closing already, so he's starting to close that gap. If these guys start battling with each other... Oh, Zach's wide. Coming through Sheen. I'll put Steph past him. Yep, Steph goes round the outside into Sterling. And P4 for Steph. Right, City Posh, is he in this time? He is, so P2 into the pits. Just times again. That way is Junkie Sport. Junkie Sport coming over the line now. City Posh on his way.
Zach in as well.
Zach's in as well. City Posh comes out side by side with Steph. They go up the hill, they're still side by side. City Posh on the inside. Steph trying to go around the long way, but on fresh tyres you would fancy City Posh to get this done, and he does. And so Felice is rapidly closing as well. So can they recover their podium positions? Back on the background there, just caught a glimpse of DeLuc, Donzo, JP Greenwood are all together. Donzo I think just stopped again, so Donzo on 2-stop strategy as well there, so he's struggling a bit with tyres, and he's come out in the middle of DeLuc and JP Greenwood. Who are now squabbling over 8th. Oh, Donzo's lost it on the curb.
He's off.
So yeah, I think Donzo will be quite happy to see the back of this Alfa Romeo. It is a very tricky car to drive. After giving it a go, didn't really agree with it very much.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose your rear end after a couple of laps.
The Group 4 Lambo, so the Group 4 Lamborghini is actually quite planted. The Group 4 Alfa Romeo is, if you could drive it how it wants to be driven, excellent car. If you can't, like I can't, then it is useless. Or I am useless, one of the two. As a combination, we are useless, so...
Well, that's a discussion we can have later on.
Indeed, right. So, into the final 5 minutes of the race, SBY 10 seconds to the good. And looking very comfortable. He can now save the fuel he needs to get himself to the end. Junkie Sport, however, has very much got City Posh on the back of him, and Steph is there as well. And so Felice in the background, just closing in as well. He's now on to 2 seconds, so he is coming. Next is Cat, still P6. He's got Switchback behind him after his second stop. So interesting strategy from Zach, I think, although he knows as obviously the race is... Well, the result is kind of regardless to the championship. Championship now wrapped up. He's happy. DeLuc in P8, JP Greenwood P9. Oh, he's out on the grass though. just about gets it stopped at the bottom of Graham Bend. Through goes Donzo. I'm coming around. City Posh on the attack now for P2 into Westfield. Junkie Sport having to go defensive. That's going to compromise the run down Dingle Dell towards Sheen Corner. Oh, City Posh taking a lot of curve, gets a big wobble, gets a penalty as well. There's a bit too much corner cut there. Steph just dropping off a little bit. He's now got unsafe release right on his tail again. City Posh goes left, go right. Tries to open the door. Can he get underneath? Junkie Sport, not quite. Junkie Sport having to go defensive. Very tight line on approach to Paddock. Moves out a little bit now to open the angle up. City Posh all over the back of him now. Again goes defensive on the run up to Druids. Is City Posh going to try and go around the long way? He is. Those fresher tyres, the side by side, a bit of contact. He's got the inside now, he's got the inside for Graham Bend, and through he goes. Junkie Sport tries to turn in, and he finds a McLaren on the apex, and up into P2 goes City Posh. Great move. And now that battling has brought Steph an unsafe release right onto their tails, so now we've got a 4-car battle. And now Steph looking at the back of Junkie Sport, and unsafe looking at the back of him. Safe has a look up the inside to Hawthorns, but just showing the nose. The mirrors. Can he unsettle? Switchback has passed Cats in the battle for P6. Donzo has cleared Deluxe now for P8. He's got JP Greenwood back on his tail as well, so those two are going to start squabbling. Oh!
Junkie Sport and Steph went wide.
So unsafe up into P4, onto the tail of Junkie Sport. He was trying to go around the outside into Sterling, which was a brave move. Lost a little bit of momentum and put Steph back onto his tail. City Posh now starting to check out. These three squabble.
Yeah, I just want to say, if City Posh brings it home at P2 now and Zach stays at P6, championship is for City Posh.
That will be 11 points, and that will mean yes, as long as City Posh doesn't disconnect. No, in fact, yes, it will be, because City Posh will win and count back a win. So yeah, if they finish as they are, City Posh is confirmed as the overall champion as well. So yeah, good spot there, up, well done. So City Posh on his way to wrap up the overall title with his P2. And something befalls one of the drivers behind him and allows Zach up another position. Yeah, he's dropped Cats quite convincingly, so no pressure from behind. Big battle though is currently for the final step of the podium. On the bottom will be the penultimate lap. Unsafe release still looking for a way through, and Junkie Sport is critical on fuel. But unsafe release his tyres is actually worse than Junkie Sports having pitted twice.
Yeah, the tyre wear on the McLaren is
Let's check down the field. JP Greenwood's had another off somewhere. He's behind Zom again. SBY onto the final lap and comfortably in the lead. Battle for P3 rages on still. Unsafe trying around the outside. He's going to cut back. Get a run down towards Graham Hill Bend. Can he fashion an opening on the final lap? Does Junkie Sport have enough fuel? He's going defensive, you can see, and they're just parking slightly in the middle of the road. Compromises corners. Unsafe's got to go around the long way. Got a good run out of Surtees though, down the straight. Junkie Sport tucks in, so again he's going to have to go around the long way. Trying to get the side draft into Hawthorns. Junkie Sport, excellent defensive action. Unsafe's got the inside, but he's not quite far enough alongside. Oh, there's contact. Junkie Sport was a little bit wide. He's just held onto it. Meanwhile, coming down to the final corner, SBY is going to win the final Group 4 race of the season. started it off as he meant to go on with victory in the opening round. He also wins the final round of the Group 4 Championship. City Posh will be second. The battle for P3 rages on, and I think Junkie Sports tied it up. So City Posh comes across the line. He will wrap up the overall title with P2. Junkie Sport takes P3 ahead of Unsafe Release and Steph. Switchback comes round for P6. He converted himself as the Group 4 champion. Nexus Cats will bring home P7. Oh, he's got off at the final corner. Very wide. There he brings it back on again. Celebrated a little bit too early there. Donzo will be the final one to finish on the same lap, with Deluxe Som and JP Greenwood finishing. So Donzo will be...
He's happy it's over.
It's over, indeed, and he brings home P8. So there you have it, and SBY wins the final Group 4 race of the season, with City Posh second and Junkie Sport third. Also, that confirms City Posh as our overall champion. So 2 championships wrapped up, 1 to go. So congrats to City Posh on championships, congrats to Switchback on his championship, which means now 3 of the 4 are decided and just the 1 more to go, which is the Group 3 championship. Where is he? Good to go. So, was your first commentary on a GT2 race, or how was it?
Say that again, mate.
Your first GT2 race you've commented on. How was it?
Was a good one to see, actually. I knew SBR was fast, but I didn't see him doing that pace, especially on the Alfa Romeo. Great job by Junkie Sport on his defending. He had to defend a lot of this race. Yeah. For the rest, yeah, good battles. A bit unlucky for Zach. He didn't like the track. But for the rest, a great race.
Indeed. Some good battles. GT2 has really delivered some cracking battles, especially in the mid-pack.
Yeah,
So, it's been excellent to see. So, 1 championship left to wrap up then, that's Suzuka, which is the Group 3 championship, and this was going to be a fight between City Posh Blue and his teammate Unsafe Release. So City Posh Blue, of course, the form man in Group 3 races. He has won 5 of the 7 races this season. While his teammate, surprisingly, he was a lot of people's tip for GT2 title overall, has not won a race this season, which is a bit of a surprise. I really want to say, he's been around GT Sport for a couple of seasons now. Very competitive, but obviously won races last season, but has not stood on top of the podium this season at all in either category.
Yeah, if I do a quick check, he has finished second 4 times.
He's been very consistent, which I think is what's kept him in the title hunt. He's only 9 points behind City Posh. So usually when City Posh wins, Unsafe Release is directly behind him, so he's only losing a couple of points a time. Of course, the only other winner of Group 3 races this season has been actually Junkie Sport, who won at Autopolis in week 1, and then obviously won at Tokyo East in the wet week. So, yes. So can Unsafe Release, and he's got 9 points to make up. So it's a question of whether or not City Posh has another stinker or not, because you would definitely fancy him to be up there again, but we shall see. Now, while we are in between races and while we're watching the man on screen, look, he sent me a message earlier that he would like me to read out. I won't read out him completely because Aaron says it's a bit much, but I'll paraphrase the message here, which is obviously Deluxe came into us last season. Honestly, this is his final race in GT Sport for a little while. Obviously, he just wants to pay thanks to everybody in the FTRL community for the last couple of seasons that he's been with us. obviously a put-together team, and after a bit of a stinker for the first week for the team, I think everybody's been very impressed with how the McLaren boys have reacted, the effort they've put in to practicing their cars, making sure they've been up there. You can see Deluxe cars got something like 3,400 miles on it there, so it's been putting in a lot of time and effort into getting up to speed. And that's been rewarded with a team's title, an overall title, and potentially it will be a Group 3 title. So 3 out of 4 titles for McLaren after that first week. A few people would have guessed. So I think all that hard effort has been put in. But he wants to pay tribute to his teammates, City Porsche and Safe. Also wants to thank GT1 driver Iggy for his assistance in helping him get up to speed and understand the car, and obviously to the admin team for putting up with him and his nuances this season. So yes, we'll miss our quirky Danish friend, Mr. Deluxe. He's going on to other things for next season, but of course GT2 already stacked up for next season, full grid again, and they're going to be interested to see.
Famous as we are with FTRL.
Indeed, yeah, both Group 1, GT1 and GT2 full. Are going to be possibly our best seasons yet. I think GT2 is going to have to go some way to beat this season though, so good luck to the 15 guys who are part of this next season. But, yeah, there we have it then. So the parting gift, and there is the champion-elect who has put #CBP on the side of his car. Just in case you were wondering who that is. He's tagged himself on the side of his car. Yeah, you win a championship, you know. I don't know what we like to say. Is anybody running a new livery? Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it. No, everybody's on their own, as you were. So let's see. Porsche, of course, he won his first race of the season at Bathurst. Round 4, and looking at how lively the McLaren looked coming over the mountain, very impressive drive from him. He just about held off SPY there, but since that race he's gone from strength to strength this season. I would say he's won every dry race since week 1 in Group 3. Dominant at Le Mans, dominant at St. Croix. He's been absolutely You're not looking forward to it. You at least your car's stable over the hill. Imagine what I've got to do down there.
I did a couple of laps already. It's horrendous.
Well, it went well last season, so if it's on the calendar next season, I'm quite confident I could go well. But
in what race were you racing? I wasn't.
We shall see. So, yeah. So wins at Mount Panama, aka Bathurst, St. Croix, at Le Mans. He won at Laguna Seca, and he won at Spa. So yeah, 6 dry races. He's won 5 of them. Outstanding effort. Just there we go. Just a goodbye bump into the teammate. Yep. A parting gift there from his McLaren teammate.
See ya.
Suzuka, again, a very well-known circuit on the F1 calendar, on GT Sport as well. And of course, it's unique figure of 8 circuit. The drivers especially love this opening section of it, these high-speed S's that sort of snake up the hillside before you go through the Degners under the bridge down to the hairpin. Spoon Corner, 130R, very legendary circuits. 1 minute warning there. So, any early predictions to who you think might clinch this one?
Well, I would say City Porsche Blue, but
I think he did. I think he definitely deserves the win. Yeah, I think
he deserves it. That's for sure.
So yeah,
but yeah, if we're looking realistically, I think City Porsche will remain victory. Maybe on safes B2 and third one is different. Let's say calm. We'll see. don't know.
We shall see. Indeed, right. So just go through the chat there. So Aaron's just wants to put a special mention into some of the guys. So obviously talks about who's been the standout driver. City Posh gets a mention. Unsafe and Zach have also both been outstanding this season, and Donzo as well. I think that was Donzo's first real big title push. So hopefully he'll be back there next season. Apparently Junkie Sport didn't refuel in his pit stop, so he meant to put fuel in, but the game glitched and he didn't put any fuel in, so that's why he was fuel saving. So he was fuel saving and still managed to hang onto a podium. Solid effort there from Carl. But for the final time this season, GT2 is on the grid, and it is JP Greenwood on pole position alongside Zom, Diluc and Donzo on row 2, Cats and Switchback on row 3, so watch out for Zom off the line. Citroen is electric off the grid. Revs go up, the lights are on, and away we go. The final time Zom gets a decent start. Jumps JP Greenwood. Donzo's got a good start as well. We've got Switchback coming through the middle. Oh, contact. Tries to find a way through. Donzo and Zach side by side. Oh, Zach's on the grass. Coming through the field, he's going to rejoin. No. Oh, contact, off goes JP Greenwood. So more contact in the pack, and from pole position to 11th in about 3 corners. So it's not the dream start for JP Greenwood, unfortunately.
It's just too much for us.
So Zom leads, Donzo right on his tail. Diluc in there as well. Oh, Donzo down inside. Zom's had a moment through the first of Degners. He's coming back on the track. Ghost now, and the field will stream by. So our front row have gone from 1st and 2nd to 10th and 11th, halfway around lap 1. Drew start, Donzo now leads. Diluc 2nd, Junkie Sport is 3rd, Cats is in 4th. Unsafe in P5, City Posh P6, SBY's P7, Switchback down to P8 after that grass tracking Steph's had. Mona, he's caught with a bit of the bumping and boring, he's down to P9. JP Greenwood recovering in P10, and Zom all the way down to P11, so that's a drama on the opening lap. Donzo has come through into the lead. So let's look at the tyre situation. And Donzo on the mediums. Look, he's on the softs. Now, there's quite a lot from him this season. He likes to run alternate tyres, and I think most people like to get the mediums out the way early on. But look, he usually runs them at the end of the stint, so he tries to go aggressive early. So he'll be wanting to try and pull a bit of a gap. Junkie Sport in P3 is on the mediums, as is Cats on safe, City Posh, SBY, Zach. Steph into the pits, so he's getting off his mediums already. JP Green was on the mediums, and as is Zom, so yeah, just SBY who's gone something a little bit. No, sorry, just Diluc, who has clipped the curb, and around he goes at turn 2 into the gravel. Drifted a little bit wide, braked on the curb, and spat him off, and he's down to P8. Steph has come out in P10.
Steph drivers run off. So already has a gap of 2 seconds on Junkie, so.
Indeed, so Donzo looking good at this stage. Junkie Sport there, of course. Oh, he's a little bit hot into the second deck. That's a big slide. Nexus Cats has got a train behind him at the moment. Got unsafe release with SBY all over the back of him. Can SBY do the double? Unsafe looks down the inside of Cats. City Posh is now at the inside of SBY. He was trying to go around the outside. He's trying to swoop around, but no. City Posh gets the overtake done. SBY have jumped him. City Posh gets the position back. Zach on the track. We've got 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Almost a tail at the moment. Can unsafe find a way past next Cats. Good run off Spoon. Cats are sending him around the long way though. Drive up now, we'll go over the bridge, the 130R. Are we going to go side by side through 130R? We're going to try it. Safe sticks it in there. City Posh trying to make it 3 wide. Zach's now on the attack. Oh, contact. 3 wide through the final chicane was never going to work. Just about sort themselves out. Unsafe gets P3. Cat stays P4. Got SBY and City Posh side by side, and Zach's trying to get involved as well. He's past SBY, and now it's a drag down the straight for City Posh, but he'll get the slipstream off the VW. So just the 1 position gain for Zach. Good move there, and Deluxe is back onto the train after his opening lap spin, or second lap spin.
He actually didn't lose that much, and then looked like a pretty serious crash.
Not too much. So Donzo now extending that gap to 3.3 seconds. Looking very good at the moment. Junkie Sports second. So that group behind him battling. He's just starting to inch away. Cats, Cats had a big slide through the second deck there. Switchback has an even bigger one. And Cats holds on to the place, but SBY gets the position back from Switchback. Now on the attack of Cats. I think there was a bit of contact through the hairpin. SBY on the back of Cats, just punted him a little bit wide. Come out side by side. Cats on the inside. And retain the position. Just for now. Flash of the lights as ever from Switchback, who's on the curb. Just be careful out there, Zach. To look now at the inside of him. Covering Deluxe. They're still going to go side by side through 130R, are they? No, Deluxe drops back in behind. Indeed, Donzo leads 4 seconds now over Junkie Sport. Unsafe release in P3, and look how quickly City Posh has bridged that gap to his teammate. Driving so well this season in Group 3s. Unsafe for his familiar Fina livery. Junkie Sport, 2.6 seconds the gap at the moment. Teammate tucks in behind him. Cats SBY. I think Switchback has pitted. Yep, Switchback is off the medium tyres onto the super softs. Tom pitting as well. He's pitting off the medium tyres. Bonzo has lost time to Junkie Sport. That gap is now just 2.4 seconds, so he's had a bit of a moment somewhere. Oh, he's pitted. Has he?
No, he didn't. Still on the mediums.
He had a P next to it. He had a P next to his name. There's a P next to his name for some reason. It keeps moving. No, it's gone now. That was weird. That threw me then. I was like, did he pit? Weird. There we go. Anyway, Donzo leads 2.8 seconds now over Junkie Sport. He's got Unsafe release closing him down. And he's bringing City Posh with him. And next is Cats and SBY. Steph is 7th, Switchback 8th. Deluxe. He must have had a moment somewhere. Down P9. Behind Switchback again, he's pitted, so. Oh, it's on there a little bit wide coming out of Degner. City Posh on his teammate's rear wing. So doing a little
faster pace than his teammate. That's safe release.
Safe release is sideways through 130R. In fact, unsafe release is always sideways. It's just how he drives his car. Oh, I think Cats has punted City Posh. Oh, he just misses his teammate. He comes back on. More contact.
That's not nice.
You saw him coming, braking, and suddenly he was flying into the far chicane. Flash of the lights. Posh not happy. Yeah, Cats moves over. Gets him through. And just stayed off SBY as well. Oh, I think he's been hit by SBY. So Steph now right back onto the tail of these guys. And he's pitted, so Steph... these guys are holding each other up quite a lot here. And this has let Steph right back onto their tail. He's now trying to go round the outside of SBY through the S's. You can see how much these guys are holding each other up and battling. Donzo has managed to pull away again after his drama we didn't see. Safe has now got a bit of a gap back to his teammate after all that, so we can now just focus on trying to chase down Junkie Sport, who has lost a lot of time coming out the deck there. In fact, that just dropped from over 2 seconds to less than a second, so Junkie Sport has had a moment there somewhere. GT1 I've mentioned a lot of times with that Group 3 Citroen can be very tricky when it wants to be. City Push, no, Goy. Zach is champion for Group 4. City Posh is the overall champion. So it's just the Group 3 championship to be decided now. And they're currently 3rd and 4th. So at the moment it's going the way of City Posh as well. Steph's now got a run on SPY. So going to 130R. Drops back in behind for now. Steph on those soft tyres. Pitted. Next Cats has had a moment somewhere. He's down to P8. In comes Junkie Sport. Junkie Sport pits. Releases unsafe release. So we've got a mixture of 3 and 4 stop strategies going on. Unsafe sideways through turn 2. I think that's just how unsafe drives, mate, to be honest. I don't think it's tyre wear at all, it's just unsafe. It's just how he drives. If you watch the season, he's literally sideways everywhere. He's just sideways everywhere all the time. It's impressive to watch. It's really impressive to watch. It's probably why he hasn't beat his teammate, though, to be honest. If you're going sideways, you're not going as fast forward as you could be.
Well, I bet he wants to go rid of those mediums as fast as possible.
Yeah, and I imagine he will be in not too long from now. SPY's a little bit deep into the second deck net. Let's go get Steph up the inside. Steph up to P4. So Steph, having pitted, is now up to P4. On the tail of those McLarens. Steph looking very strong at the stage of the race.
Did Steph pit?
Yeah, he started on the mediums and found the softs.
Oh yeah, he went in first lap.
So Steph putting himself in a very strong position. He's only 7 seconds off the lead at the moment, so Steph in a strong position. City Posh all over the back of his teammate again. Donzo 7 seconds in the lead.
Still increasing gap. City Posh really wants to pass. Unsafe.
Close again. Race leader is in. So Donzo pits, unsafe does not. So Darren's carrying on. Drag race between the top 5. Down start finish straight. You've got unsafe release. City Posh, Steph, SPY, and Switchback. Switchback pops out of the slipstream of SPY, but doesn't make a move this time. Switchback on the super soft. Oh, he's had a drift there though. Junkie Sport is 6th, and Junkie Sport has leapfrogged Donzo. But Donzo obviously now only has 1 more stop to make. Junkie Sport probably 2. So interesting strategies now. We've got a mixture of 2 and 3 stoppers playing out now. It's very interesting to see where everybody drops out. Cats has pitted. He's now P10. Now unsafe release is your race leader. City Posh being a bit lively coming out of the second deck net.
Yeah, well, unsafe release is in a very good position if you can hold up.
Oh, SPY up the inside of Steph. Takes them both wide and Switchback capitalises and he's through. I think SPY had a bit of a dive there. The inside of the hairpin, that caused Steph to run wide, and Switchback is through, but they're now battling. They head towards Spoon. Switchback on the inside, Steph trying to go around the long way. Can he cut back underneath? Not quite, so drop step back behind, switch back. Those two on similar strategies. They've both stopped once already. I'm expecting the McLarens in this lap.
Yeah, well, they'll have a huge advantage in comparison to the guys behind them. They have a lot more freedom to take exactly. And,
yeah, McLaren's pit. SPY didn't pit that time. I thought he might have gone in as well. Let's carry on for another lap. Coming around, so where does Donzo come out relative to McLaren's? Keep an eye on him. Does he clear them? He does indeed. There goes the look as well. Here come his teammates. So the look through into P6 and safe out in P7. City Posh P8. They're all McLaren's together on track, 6th, 7th and 8th. Good one for the farewell them later for Zon. Cats is P9, Zon P10, JP Greenwood in the pits. Taking on fuel. Oh, switch back is sideways, Steph's down the inside, into the second Degner and into the lead of the race. Switchback's tyres looking past their best. Retakes the lead. SPY behind them. Donzo is 8 seconds behind them in 5th place at the moment. He's on the medium tyres again.
He is.
Just check on your screen. Does it say Donzo's on the medium tyres?
Yeah, I know.
That's interesting. Why would he do it?
That must be a mistake.
That must be a mistake. Oh, we've got yellow flag. Switchback's round at Spoon. The switchback has cooked his tyres through, goes Donzo. So I think any chance of switchback winning this race may have just have evaporated. Look, the rear tyre where he's gotten safe. City Posh have cleared the look. He's on a different strategy. They're on soft tyres, he's on the mediums, but McLaren's still running together. And safe back at the head of this train. Now Steph pits from the race lead. SPY carries on again. SPY looking to drain the tank on these medium tyres. Interesting strategy from SPY this. There's Donzo in the background. There's his teammate in the background who was the race leader, so interesting. You've got Chunky Sport who has pitted. He's on the super soft tyres. He's right behind him now. Oh, SPY's wide. The grass keeps the lead for now. Donzo third and safe, and City Posh squabbling over P4. City Posh wants a way through. He will clinch the Group 3 title if he stays where he is, right on the tail of his teammate. If you look behind him in P6, Steph has pitted. He's back on the soft tyre. So he's now P7. Cats is P8, it's on P9. Switchback has pitted for the softs, he's now P10. JP Greenwood P11. Chunky Sport on the attack for the race lead. Able to find their way through. Donzo just 5 seconds off the lead now. And closing. SPY holding up Chunky Sport. Doing his teammate a favour in all this. Chunky Sport to the inside, coming into Spoon. Not quite close enough. SPY has a big slide. Chunky Sport had pulled out the move, so wasn't able to capitalise. Oh, he's wide though, coming off the Spoon. Out on the curbs.
Yeah, Donzo is losing a lot of time. It's not safe and City Posh.
I wonder what's happened there then. Oh, Chunky Sport into the lead. Gets it through 130R. So Chunky Sport takes the lead from SPY. Donzo is closing. I'm not quite sure why he has got back onto the mediums. That must have been an error. I can only think maybe he's tried to change up as he entered the pits. It's accidentally selected. Oh, battle for P3. Steph and City Posh side by side down the start finish straight. City Posh to the outside. Trying to go in a long way. Oh, they touch. City Posh gets it done though. Great move from City Posh. Hangs it around the outside of his teammate and up into P3. Thank you. So he's looked the quicker driver. Now he's up ahead of his teammate. Can he pull away? Can't unsafe. Fight back.
If you want to close up on, also you have to stop Alpha. And no unsafe release. Wants to go for every opportunity he gets. So.
Indeed, well, he's sticking on the back of his teammate for now. So he's not over yet. Let's see what happens now. They've got 4.4 seconds to Donzo. Steph in P6, closing on Deluc. So where's he going to end up in all this shakeout? McLaren pair and Donzo. We'll see. SBY's come out in P7 after his pit stop. He's 22 seconds off the lead. Probably using that to just save a bit of tyre life, because they're going for a slightly shorter stint.
Strange strategy.
Indeed. GP Winwood mowing the lawns. They run down to Spoon Curb. Gathers it up though. But it is the man sporting brand new sponsorship from Lenore and Tom's Gyms. Your regular Deluc pits from P8. So he's getting off the mediums, going on to the super soft. Jockey Sport leads 3.2 seconds over Donzo. City Posh still with his teammate in close attendance. It's not over between these two. Third and fourth, dragging each other along. Steph has been released after Deluc pitted, so he's now got clear track. What can he do about those McLarens? He's looking very good in that first stint. Got the back of the train. He's 3.6 seconds and closing, and he's got purple in that sector there, so Steph got a bit of a charge at the moment. SBY is P6. Deluc after his pit stop is P7. Cat's not behind him, so once again the Dane train together. Switchback is P9, having a bit of a off race. 2:12 on that lap last time around, so I think he's heading off somewhere again.
That's the purpose of the so.
Sport then continues to lead. Probably be in the pits this time or next time around. He will be next time as he carries on one more time. Donzo P2, not really making too much indent into Junkie Sport's lead. You can see him. However, who is making a bit of an indent now is City Posh. He's starting to close that gap down to Donzo. He's had about a second out of him this lap.
Oh, good job on Steph as well. He already made 2 stops, he's still in P4, so he's doing a great job on that.
Still got the super soft time to come as well, so he'll be quick at the end. Battle, because Steph just 10 seconds off, there's a 10 seconds covering the top 5. Steph going back at the moment. SBY is P6. But I think that extended stint on the mediums may have cost him. We shall see. He's got a strategy in mind.
tyres of a car of Chunky Sport really looking bad.
Yeah, he's on the red line for fuel, so he will be in this time, I believe. Yeah, you can see that Donzo's now started to make a bit of an impression on him. Close up. Push on safe, still circulating nose to tail. 3 and 4. Steph is closing the gap as well, so Steph is coming. Can Steph pull off a dry race from him? Of course, he won the Group 4 race at Red Bull Ring in the wets. He utilised the 4-wheel drive capabilities of that Mitsubishi. Race leader is in. Donzo carries on. Bosch carries on. Just doesn't safe release. Mr. Steph. City Posh does a 2:01.5. Asta's unsafe release. Literally 15 thousandths per second between their lap times that time. That's how closely matched these two are. Steph behind them did a 2:09, so he took 6/10 out of them on that lap. Steph is charging. SBY clears Junkie Sport, who's just come out of the pits. They look right behind them as well, so 3-car battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. It's Katz is having a lonely race in P8 as a switchback in P9. Not the 2 circuits switchback would have wanted to try and clinch a championship on for sure. He's having a bit of a nightmare. His car looks very... Oh, he's having a big slide through too. Gathers it up there right on the edge of the track. Greenwood lonely race in P10. And some. Could be happy to get rid of this Group 3 Citroen. Not a huge fan of this car. So Donzo has returned to the lead. 3.3 seconds is the gap. City Posh still giving chase. And his tyres are starting to look past their best. Just making a bit of a gap now to Unsafe. Just inching away a little bit. Unsafe starting to pull it back a little bit now. Steph is the man on the move. He is still closing that gap.
We must be focusing. These times are pretty consistent as well.
Yeah, in the 2:01, 2:06, 2:09. So the 2-minute bracket. Mitsubishi is a very well balanced car. Leads 3.1 seconds, so lap times. Donzo does a 2:02.6. City Posh at 2:02.3, so he's taking 3/10 per second out of him. And safe with 2:02.5, he lost a couple of tenths to his teammate. Steph with 2:01.4. He's taken 1.1 seconds out of his teammate. What's going on here? We've got Junkie Sport, SBY side by side down the start finish straight. SBY down the inside, there's contact. SBY's wide. Sorry, Junkie Sport's wide. Oh, he's got the AstroTurf and over. Spins, trying to come back onto the track. Gets it together, but that's let Deluxe through. So he capitalises on that error. SBY slow to let... Yeah, SBY slow to let Junkie Sport back through, and as Junkie Sport tries to get back on the track, had another moment on the AstroTurf.
Yeah, it's a difficult corner to get back on track once you go off track, because it's like you don't know what causes it, but you lose rear end every time. I do.
Right, we've got a battle for P3. Steph is on the tail of Unsafe Release. He is there. Unsafe. That gap with City Posh staying about the same. But Unsafe, City Posh's front tyres are absolutely shredded. In fact, usually Unsafe Release is quite heavy on his tyres. The City Posh's tyres are a lot worse this year. Oh, he's having a big slide coming out of Spoon. He's going to compromise his run. Unsafe will be closing. I expect these two in. How much fuel Unsafe has saved as well compared to his teammate.
I was going to say that as well. Last time was a bit better on fuel as well. So
Steph's got less fuel than anybody around him, but he's on quicker tyres at the moment. Race leader is in. That's City Posh, Unsafe, Steph as well. So yeah, top 4 all in. Where is Deluxe? He's currently P5. Coming up to the final chicane. Junkie Sport in tow. And SBY as well, so who goes for what tyres? Unsafe is on his way, and Unsafe has jumped into the race lead. Unsafe leads City Posh second, Donzo down to third, Deluxe coming through to fourth. Steph's going to come out behind Junkie Sport and SBY, so he had to put more fuel in. That's dropped him down to P7, but he's on the fastest tyre and he's right on the back of SBY, who's on slightly worn softs. He's got to stop again as well. He's still got to go onto the super softs. Just picked up a penalty there as well. So this has now really shaken the race up. Unsafe release. Now leads. That shot there on the inside of Dunlop. So the cars come around with the wheel in the background. Through the Degners they come. On lap 15, 10 minutes to go. Oh, Unsafe power sliding through the second Degner. Unsafe leads. Posh second. Donzo is third. Deluxe fourth. Sports fifth. SBY sixth. And Steph Ryan's Taylor seventh. So the top 7 drivers covered by 9 seconds. 9 minutes to go. Huge amount of time, and he's going to have to stop again because he's obviously not used the soft tyres.
I'm not sure if restraints keep driving that long.
Yeah, it's weird. All I can think of is if he went into the pits that first stop and he tried to upshift in the pit lane and put him on mediums. Although I would have thought it would have put him on super soft, but I can't remember where the arrow usually starts. But there we have it. We'll find out later on. So what can Steph do now? He was the quickest man on... Oh, Junkie Sport's gone at 130R. He's lost it coming out of 130R. So unfortunately for Junkie Sport, that has dropped him out of the contention. We've got Cats and Switchback battling behind him. They're coming out spoon, so he won't lose any more places. JP Greenwood. SBY pits from P6. So he's on his way. Race lead battle is on. Safe leads his teammate by half a second. Purple through the first sector. These two are flying. Donzo now on the super soft tyres. Can he do anything about those McLarens? He's been hurt with that tyre stint. Steph is up to fourth. Look has pitted for the super softs, I believe. Yeah, he's coming for some fresh tyres, so the look pitted as well. So Junkie Sport back through, but he's on slightly, he's partly worn soft tyres, although his rear tyres, oh, that Citroen looks very lively through the corners. Oh, sliding everywhere. And he's going to get caught very quickly by Deluxe and by SBY. Junkie Sport Citroen's struggling a little bit in the rear of that car. Those two are right on him already. Deluxe and SBY are there, so Junkie Sport be under attack very shortly. Meanwhile, seemingly in every Group 3 race this season, it feels like, the McLaren duo battling for the lead.
Yeah, well, I imagine unsafe release hard is going to be a high rate now.
Yeah, I think he's probably too stoned to be going at his heart rate to be that high. He's going to be chill as ice. Fastest lap of the race goes to unsafe release. He's into the 1 minute 59s of 59.7. City Posh behind him with a 59.8. He pops out the slipstream low. Oh, unsafe is wide. City Posh is down the inside. And City Posh takes the lead. A little mistake there from unsafe. And City Posh takes the lead. Unsafe is not going to be happy about that. He'll want that back. He'll want that win. He'll want this win. City Posh, of course, moving up to GT1 next season. He wants to go out in style. Unsafe has yet to start on top of the podium this season. He'll want a win. Donzo not really catching these guys at the minute. He did a 59.9, so he's actually lost a 10th that lap. Steph did a 2 minute 3, so he's not as quick at this stage of the race. SBY ahead of Deluxe, and they're both Junkie Sport, so he was under attack. I think the Citroens are starting to struggle. Switchback has jumped Cats, who has pitted, I believe.
Those rear tyres off.
Yeah, they're not looking happy, are they? So City Posh trying to make a break now for the lead. Half a second over his teammate. So enforce that error into turn 1. Can unsafe release respond? You see him moving around down the straight trying to break the toe. Unsafe release, not having any of it. Starting to close up again. Here we go into 130R.
City Posh doing everything to keep his position. There's about 3 laps to go, so
yep.
let's say if Release is gonna drive for his life in the last 3 laps to get that victory. It's what he deserves.
Donzo not able to close a little bit on that lap. 4 seconds, so despite the early lead, Donzo has been caught out here. McLaren Joe have leapfrogged him and pulled away. Steph not able to capitalise. He's not taking enough time out of them, so barring it unless Donzo has to stop again, don't think he'll improve on his 4th place or would just miss out on that podium. That's been why interesting strategy and very long on the mediums, perhaps too long. Still got Deluxe not too far behind him. Junkie Sport tyres are absolutely frazzled, but he's got 16 seconds back to his teammate, who has just did his personal best a lap ago, 59.8, so the time's coming down now to 2 minutes. That is the one for the race lead. Back on his teammate's tail, so this is not over yet. He's safe got for his teammate. We'll start what will be the penultimate lap. Start finish straight they go. Safe trying to get close enough to launch an attack. His tyres are in better state, so he's got more grip to attack with. But can he find an opening? So there's not many places to overtake around here, so you're going to have to force an error, like City Posh did on him. But he's there, he's right on his tail. So can he find a way by? Oh, he's up the inside of the Dunlop. City Posh a little bit wide, not quite close enough. Going to have a look at the inside of the Degner. Again, not quite close enough. This is fantastic racing between the two teammates. However, they are now letting Donzo catch up. Donzo is closing that gap. Steph, I think, has resigned himself to P4. Just drop down the grid a little bit. Junkie Sports tyres well past their best, but Switchback not really catching him. As Cats has just had a moment coming out of turn 2. Big Green is still P10. Hands on cursing that Citroen all the way around Suzuka.
Yeah, well, 6 positive, that's worst tyre wear, opposite 3 in front, so
Donzo, I think, is just too far back to get in this battle. We're about to start the final lap. So 130 off for the penultimate time. Safe car looking a little bit more planted. Strangely, the unsafe car actually looks more planted than City Posh's, doesn't it? And the City Posh is the one that is all over the shop. Can he get close enough again? He's had a good run out the final corner. City Posh's hazards are on. Unsafe to the inside. Unsafe will take the lead. Now, was that, did he engineer that, or was that a gift? Flash of the light.
I guess.
Oh, Unsafe got the curb! He almost drops it. Donzo closes up even more. Unsafe into the lead. I think that was a gift. We saw the hazards on.
Yeah,
I think that was a. I think it was a gift, but a deserved one, because I think Unsafe was definitely the faster driver at this point. And rather than take each other out, Junkie Sport pits on the final lap.
Dunstall is into the slipstream of City Posh now, so maybe.
Can he get there? I think he'll need a mistake just to get close enough.
Yeah.
But his tyre wear is so much better. Yellow flag. So switchback has finished. P8. He crosses the line. Cat's coming around the final corner now. Stay with the battle for the lead. It's not over yet. Donzo is now just 1.5 seconds off the race lead. In a couple more tenths, of City Posh is back on the tail of his teammate as he decided to take his gift back. Or is he just going to play rear gunner?
Giving the safe lead and then take
Is he going to send it into the final chicane on the last lap and take it away from him? With the ultimate treason as a passing gift as he moves it to GT1, gives him a victory and then takes it away. Now he's dropped off the back of him now. He's dropped back towards Donzo. Is Donzo going to take it away from him? Donzo's got a penalty though, so Donzo's got to shift that penalty if he wants to. So provided he doesn't drop it to the final chicane, he gets it stopped. Oh, there's a slide, but it's okay. It's just how he drives out of the final corner. Unsafe release finally wins a race in GT2 this season. He wins the final round. City Posh is second, Donzo is third. Top three covered by 0.7 of a second at the line. Steph comes home a brilliant fourth. Great drive from him. He takes home P4. SBY is going to come home in P5.
Well, not sure.
Oh, Deluxe jumps him. Deluxe jumps him on penalties. So Deluxe picks up P5. Another one will be Junkie Sport, who's coming into the final chicane. Tyre wear, I think, is getting the better of him.
Oh, he actually pitted it.
He did, he pitted on the last lap. Zombs there has waited for his teammates, so Citroen's coming across the line together. Photo opportunity. And across the line we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of GT2 for this season. And it is finally a victory for Unsafe Release. Cracking battle between the two McLarens, as they have been doing all season long. But it means that the Group 3 Championship also goes to City Posh to go with his overall title and the team's title. Not quite the clean sweep, but a sterling effort. So there we have it then. GT2 is done for this season, but you do not have to wait long for more GT action from FTRL, because we are back tomorrow with GT1, and you don't even have to wait long for more GT2 action because there is no break. We are straight back into season 9 next week. So do tune in. All details of the calendar will be released tomorrow after the GT1 race. What a fantastic season. GT2 really upped its game this season, and I think it's possibly even eclipsed GT1.
Yeah.
Great racing all season long. We've seen some standout drives. I think some people have really come to the fore this season. SBY started off brilliantly in the Group 4 category. Really used that Alfa Romeo. Same with Donzo as well. Both those two. Peatman also had some good showings. I don't think he quite reached the heady heights of his teammates, but there was definitely potential there. So good effort from him. Looking at VW, Steph and Andy, of course, with us all season. We've had a rolling third driver. Unfortunately, that's not been filled for the final races. But yeah, some great drives from those two this season. Steph obviously winning at Red Bull Ring. Andy so close to winning at Red Bull Ring as well. Great drivers from them. And then Andy's drive at Le Mans as well was another standout drive. course, the McLaren trio have been excellent all season, especially City Posh. But Unsafe Release has been right on his case most of the time, and Deluxe chipped in with some solid results. I think I'll be happy with that P5 there to go out with. Missed out on a podium this season. Of course, he got a win in his first season with us, but a solid season all round. Cats, of course, struggled a little bit, I think, with that VW. The Scirocco, very quick car, but the tyre wear tricky there. But
it's not the greatest.
No, so obviously looking forward to season 9. We've got a bit of a big car choice, so they'll all be announced in due course. But yeah, thank you very much everybody for joining us for this GT2 season. It has been absolutely fantastic to watch, and hopefully next season will bring us more of the same. But of course, do tune in tomorrow for the GT1 action, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. And we will round off the season with races at... what's the Group 4 race tomorrow? I've completely forgotten.
Well, I did as well. Oh no,
oh, sorry, it's Maggiore East, isn't it? Yeah, Maggiore East for the Group 3, and then Bathurst for Group 3, sorry. Group 4 is at Maggiore East. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, Ron.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Thanks for having me.
And I'll see you on track tomorrow and join us all then. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. We bid you farewell for this GT2 season.